Welcome to English digital class. Children, I hope you all are waiting for this class. Okay, today let us learn a new lesson. Before going into the lesson, let me ask you something. Now, look at this picture and try to describe it in your own words.
The flower is beautiful. The flower looks wonderful. The flower looks so cute. The flower looks so loud.
We have observed the video, and in that video we could see that children were describing the flower in their own words. Though everyone were describing the flower, they have used different words to describe it, isn't it? One of them have said that the flower is beautiful. The other one said the flower is lovely. And the other child said the flower looks cute. The last child said the flower is wonderful. Children, though every child was describing the flower, everybody used different words like beautiful, wonderful, cute and lovely. Though they mean the same thing, but the way of expression is different. They have expressed in a different way. When the child used the word beautiful, she was meaning about its physical character, the color and the beauty of it. At the same time, when we see the child describing it as lovely, she was feeling that it was the most loveliest one in the world. And when the child said it's wonderful, the child mean about its creation. And when the another child said that the flower was cute, she meant that it was appealing so good that it looks so cute for her. Children, though they were talking about the same flower, we have used different words, but all the words were describing the flower. So today we are going to learn a lesson to use different words to describe with one meaning. So now let us look at the objectives of the lesson. The learner understand the meaning of the words. Try to learn related words of the given word. Use the words in framing sentences. Understand the proper usage of the word according to the situation. So today we are going to learn a word and its related words and their meanings and how to frame them into sentences. Now let us look at the first word, and before going into the word, let us watch this video.
A couple were dining out together, celebrating the 40th wedding anniversary. After the meal, the husband presented his wife romantically with a beautiful, very old, gold antique locket on a chain. Amazingly, when his wife opened the locket, a tiny fairy appeared. Addressing the astonished couple, the fairy said,
"Your 40 years of devotion to each other has released me from this locket, and in return, I can now grant you both one wish each, anything you want."
Without hesitating, the wife asked,
"Please, can I travel to the four corners of the world with my husband, as happy and in love as we've always been?"
The fairy waved her wand with a flourish, and magically, there on the table were 2 first-class tickets for a round-the-world holiday. Staggered, the couple looked at each other, unable to believe their luck.
"Your turn?"
said the fairy. The husband thought for a few seconds and then said, with a little guilt in his voice,
"Forgive me, but to really enjoy that holiday of a lifetime, I yearn for a younger woman. So, I wish that my wife could be 30 years younger than me."
Shocked, the fairy glanced at the wife and with a knowing look in her eye waved her wand. And the husband became 93.
Now children, look at this sentence. Rip stroked his chin, and to astonishment, he found his beard has grown a foot long. This sentence is taken from the textbook, the Rip Van Winkle lesson. So, when you could see that highlighted word astonishment. So, this word has many other related words: shock, amaze, stagger, stun, afraid, bewilder, terrified. So, these are the words related to astonished. Now, we have seen all the related words to that astonished. So, these words how do we use and how it expresses a different feeling we have seen in the video. When we have looked at the video, the wife was amazed when she has received a gift from her husband. That was expressing the happiness with amazement. When he asked the fairy about the wish, she was shocked. The wife was amazed looking at the gift. The couple were astonished to look at the fairy in the locket. Looking at the air tickets, the couple were stunned. The fairy was shocked listening to the wish of the husband. The wife was afraid where the fairy would gift her husband a 30-year young girl. The husband staggered before asking his wish to the fairy. The husband was terrified when he was turned to 93. So, in the video we have observed all these different emotional feelings. Though they all relate to the same word, astonished means surprised or shocked, but the way of expressions were different. Sometimes it was about happiness, sometimes it was about worry, sometimes it was about shocking. So, when these words are used in the sentence, how does they frame a sentence? Let us look at it. Let us know the meaning of the word and how to use it in a sentence. Astonished, to surprise. So, when we use the word shock, unpleasant feeling that happened suddenly. The news of his death came as a shock to all of us. The next word is terrified, extremely frightened. Flying in the air was a terrifying experience. Next word is amaze, to surprise very much. I was amazed looking at gift my father presented me. Staggered, surprised and shocked. I was staggered at the amount of money the ring cost. Stun, to surprise or shock. There was a stunned silence when I told them the news. Afraid, feeling fear. I am always afraid of examinations. Bewilder, to confuse. The change in the policy bewildered many customers. When we have learned these words related to astonished, though they were same meaning, like everything was related to some shock or surprise, but the way of their usage is entirely different. So, according to the situation, we have to choose the word and use them. Now, let us go to the next word, and to learn the next word, let us watch this video, children. The only problem with Rip was he was lazy. So now let us learn the word lazy and the related words of lazy. Dallying, sluggish, snooze, dull, lethargic, slothful. So these are the words related to laziness, and when we use this word lazy or dallying, let us learn those words with their meanings and how to frame them into a sentence. Lethargic, the state of not having energy or enthusiasm to do any work. So in the video we have observed that everybody was so lazy that they don't want to get up from their place also. And how this can be used in a sentence? The weather made her listless and lethargic. Dallying, to do work too slowly. Now in the video we have observed that everybody was so slow that they were very slow to pick up even a ball of cotton. Please don't dally. We need you here right away. So this is how we use in the sentence. Sluggish, moving more slowly than normal. That means just very slowly crawling type. The traffic is sluggish at the crossroad. So you know when there is a traffic jam, how slowly the traffic moves. Next word is snoozy, sleeping daytime. So we have seen in the video everybody were sleeping, they were not working on the daytime also. My brother was snoozing on the sofa. That means he is relaxing on the sofa. Slothful, being lazy and unwilling to work. So in the video also we have observed no one wants to work, they want to just relax. His slothfulness has resulted in downfall of the department. Definitely when we are lazy there will be only downfall. The next word is dull, not interesting. Life in a small town could be deadly dull. Dull means again it's not, we are not interested in that work. So all these words are related to laziness. Let us learn the next word now. Before learning the next word, let us watch this video. Now look at the word in the textbook sentence. The children of the village shouted with joy. Wolf, wolf, he then shouted for the dog. Children, when you look at these two shouted, so in the first sentence the shouted is different. So here the children are shouting out of happiness, and when you go to the second sentence, he is shouting for somebody to come over there. That means he is giving a cry for them to listen and come to that place. Now let us look at the related words for the shout. Shout, scream, cheer, bawl, roar, cry, bellow, eel. All these words are related to something of raising their voice and make the others hear about it. But the usage of them, let us see now. Shout, to speak loudly. He shouted at him to shut the gate. So, here it is out of anger or it must be out of instruction. Scream, to give a loud high cry. He covered her mouth to stop her from screaming. That means she was already screaming and he wants to control it. So, he covered her mouth. Cheer, shout loudly to support or encourage. Here the word cheer is to encourage. So, at the time of joy and you want to encourage them also, we keep shouting. A great cheer went up from the crowd for the winners. Next is bellow, to shout in a loud deep voice. That means to be very clear and to make others hear about what you are going to say. They bellowed her to stop, but it was too late. That means they were trying to stop her by shouting, but it was too late. The next word is cry, shout loudly. So, here the cry does not mean the crying, that is a different action, but here the cry is something you shout out for somebody for help. She ran into the window and cried for help. That means she shouted so loudly with pain. That is the meaning here. Roar, to make a loud deep sound. Altogether the crowd roared. That means they made a loud sound at a stretch. Next word is eel, to shout loudly. The dog yelled with pain. In the nights you can hear sometimes dogs shouting. So, that is called eel. Bawl, the shout in an unpleasant or angry way. That means non-stop shouting. The child was bawling in the next room. That means it was crying so bitterly, or the way it was shouting, it was not stopping. That is called bawling. So, children, you all have learnt the words related to shout. And in the video also we could observe that there were different types of shouts. There were shouts of anger, there were shouts of pain, there were shouts for others to come and help them. Now, let us look at the next video and see what the next word is.
One cold winter day, when 𝗧𝗦𝗃 and 𝗃𝗃 went out to shovel snow, 𝗃𝗃 wondered why 𝗧𝗃𝗃's teeth were chattering. "Why are your teeth chattering?"
"It's cold out here, and my body's trying to warm up."
"You are shaking all over."
"Yes, I'm shivering."
Children, we could watch that all the people were tottering when there was an earthquake and all the things were shaking. The earth was vibrating. In the video, we could observe that all the people were tottering here and there, and all of them were trembling while walking, and some of them were shivering with fear. And in another video, we could see a boy was shivering with clattering of teeth. Rip obeyed as he was trembling with fear. So, the word is trembling. So, let us see the related words to the word trembling. Tremble, shiver, totter, vibrate, quack, shudder, shake. All these words are related to tremble. The action is shivering or shaking with to and fro movements or with side movements according to the situation. Now, let us learn the words and the meanings and how they can be used in the sentences. Quake, to shake because you are frightened. At the time of earthquake, all the people were quacking and running. That means they are shouting, they were shivering with fear and they were running out. Vibrate, to move from side to side very quickly. That means the position is not disturbed completely, but there is a lot of vibration which you could observe in the video. You could see all the tables were vibrating. Every time the train went past, the walls vibrate. So, if we have a house beside the railway station, we can feel that vibration. The next word is totter, to walk or move with unsteady steps. That means they will be about to fall. You can see sometimes even some people who are losing their conscious or giddiness, they also walk in an unsteady way. That is called tottering. She managed to totter back to her seat. Shudder, to shake because of fear. When you are frightened of something, you automatically, without your conscious, your whole body keeps shaking and shivering. A shudder ran through him as he stepped out into the snow. The next word is shake, to move sometimes violently back and forth. So, when there is an earthquake, without your knowledge, you will be rushing, and at that time you will be shaking. The ground started shaking during the earthquake. Shiver, to undergo trembling. That means when you are frightened, you obviously shiver. I started shivering due to cold wind. So, children, we have learnt the word tremble and the related words of tremble. Now, let us learn the next word. Now, before that, let us watch this video.
A blind man was sitting on a busy street corner in the rush hour begging for money. On a cardboard sign next to an empty tin cup, he had written, "Blind, please help." No one was giving him any money. A young advertising writer walked past and saw the blind man with the sign "Empty Cup" and also saw the many people passing by completely unmoved, let alone stopping to give money. The advertising writer took a thick marker pen from her pocket, turned the cardboard sheet back to front, and rewrote the sign, then went on her way. Immediately, people began putting money into the tin cup. After a while, when the cup was overflowing, the blind man asked a stranger,
Can you read this signboard for me?
It says,
said the stranger,
"It's a beautiful day. You can see it. I cannot."
Now, after observing this video, let me ask you some questions. What problem the old man had? Yes, he can't see. Who helped him? Yes, an young advertiser helped the old man. Whom did the old man ask to read the signboard? So, he has asked a stranger to read the signboard. So, can you guess what is the next word, children? Yes, it is the word stranger. So, let us look at the sentence from the textbook. Rip hurried to help the stranger who caught his hand tightly. Stranger is somebody who is not known to us. He is an unknown person, isn't it? So, let us see the word and the related words to stranger. Stranger, alien, outsider, newcomer, extrinsic, foreigner. So, these are the words related to the stranger word. So, instead of stranger, you can also use these words whenever you are going to describe about an unknown person or a person who is not in the group. Now, let us learn the meanings of the related words and how to use them in a sentence. Stranger, a person that you don't know. We have told our daughter not to speak to strangers. So, we never speak to strangers, but sometimes we do need to listen to them. Extrinsic, not belonging to the group. That means he is somebody out of the group. You have to consider any extrinsic factor in the success of business. Next word, foreigner, a person who is from country that is not your own. I can tell by your accent you are a foreigner in this part. So, he is not belonging to us, we can easily identify from his physical features or his accent. The next word is alien, a person or creature from another world. That means he does not belong to our world itself. My boss is an alien to the Western culture. Here alien is something, a person or a creature we said, but when we used in the sentence, whichever is unknown also we can use it as an alien. Outsider, a person who is not accepted as a member of society or group. They have decided to hire outsiders for some of the key positions. Newcomer, a person who has recently arrived in a place. A newcomer joined in our class. So children, we have learnt the words related to stranger and how they are used according to the situation. I hope children, you all must have learnt many new words today. So all the new words according to the situation, you should be able to use them fitting into that perfect situation. And just because you like the word or you know the meaning of the word, you can't use them wherever you want. So according to the situation, we are supposed to use these words. Hope you all have enjoyed my lesson today, and we will meet in the next class, children. Thank you.